Hey everyone, Ezra here again. Today we're going to be going over my experience with the LG Nexus 5 from Google. Okay, it actually thought that I said, okay Google. We'll end that now. Anyways, here's the phone. It was released about, let's see, let's check the focus. It was released, or announced rather, just over a week ago, and began shipping around that same time too. I got mine actually Thursday and picked it up and have been using it ever since. Let's see, first off, I would say the battery life is fairly decent for a phone of this size. It's a 1080p screen, IPS display, very sharp in comparison to my old Galaxy Nexus from Verizon, that has a pentile display. This is pretty sharp, DPI is pretty high, can't really fault the screen at all. It's actually very beautiful. As you can see, the background that's included with KitKat, it's actually very sharp and detailed. That being said, the battery life, obviously with only a 2300 milliamp battery, gives me about 14 to 15 hours of battery life before it kind of complains about needing to be charged. But all in all, still a great phone, especially because throughout BlizzCon I was mostly on the cellular network, LTE. I wasn't connected to a wireless network at all, which saves battery. Alright, so other than that, it's actually very smooth compared to my Galaxy Nexus. Obviously, my Galaxy Nexus is 2 years old, but that doesn't really, yeah. It's just playing faster. This is the Google experience that I was looking for in terms of Android. Smooth, very few hiccups in terms of transitions. Scrolling is mostly smooth. As other reviewers have said, there is some stuttering occasionally when you're scrolling very fast through some pages, but it's to be expected. It's been plaguing Android for a very long time now. But other than that, very clean interface. They took away some of they added some transparency to the bottom home buttons, however you say it. As you can see, recents pops up very quickly, no lag or wait there. Free memory is actually quite a bit. I'm used to seeing maybe a couple hundred megabytes or just under 100 megabytes RAM free. This is showing 0.2 gigabytes free. That's crazy to me. That have over a gig of RAM free. So this phone is a beast in terms of hardware, at least in processing power and smoothness. The downside of this phone, however, which is kind of ironic because they advertise this as a phone to capture all your special moments on their website, the camera app leaves a little to be desired, or the camera in general. Camera focus isn't very reliable, I would say. I had trouble taking in-focus pictures in low light environments. Right now it seems to be working pretty fine, actually. Considering how close I'm holding this to the table, it actually has a pretty shallow focus range. But the focus has been known to be a problem with the phone, and also general picture quality in general. Google has stated that they are fixing the camera in a future patch, so I'm hoping to see if that will come to fruition. One thing that is kind of interesting is now that the Google Now page is on the far left screen all the time. So instead of dragging up, which you still can from the bottom, you can just swipe to the left. That's nice. It's it reminds me of the iPhone search that you can get to by scrolling to one side. At least on my iPod Touch, my first gen iPod Touch does that. So that's neat. Now also Google Now or the Nexus 5 will respond to voice commands from the home screen. Not quite like the Moto X, which will let you command the phone with the screen off, and not as secure where the Moto X actually learns your voice. This phone does not learn your voice, So if you see someone with a Nexus 5, you can potentially troll them by saying, "Okay, Google," like that. I don't have to say it very loudly and it hears it. But yeah, you can troll people doing that. So, but yeah, very smooth. As you can see, the butter effects, or Project Butter, that was started way back in Jelly Bean. Very smooth transitions. Much more akin to the iPhone finally. Still work in progress, definitely, as Android always is, but definitely an improvement. So that's the Nexus 5 for you. I also got the Neo Hybrid case from Spigen. And it's a two-piece case, and it has this interesting cross-hatch design on the back, supposedly to absorb shock, but to be honest, any TPU case that surrounds your phone like that is going to be good enough. I've dropped a much cheaper TPU case on my Nexus 5, this Distronic case, many times, and it never broke. So whether these are just a gimmick, who knows, but any case made out of this TPU material will probably do the trick. So just to install it, let's go ahead and slide it in like any rubber case. Squeeze the edges around, make sure it's seated right. And oh, one more thing. I would definitely recommend a case with a Nexus 5, not only because you already may have seen drop tests already, but this does not withstand drop tests very well. The plastic around the sides seem to imprint with the ground very easily and scuff. I would definitely want to keep, and also if it lands on its face, the glass is broken. So definitely recommend a case, also because of how this camera sticks out. I don't know why Google decided that was a good idea, or LG decided that was a good idea to have this camera lens protruding out of the case. When you lay the phone down, the case is going to be, the glass lens or whatever material that is, it's going to be dragging along the table. You have grit and dirty tables and crap in the public, you're going to be scratching that up eventually. So I would recommend a case with that. As you can see, whoops. If I put this in a case, the camera is now recessed and the phone will no longer rest on the camera. Don't know why they thought that was a good design choice. Because, I mean, you're going to be putting it down on your charger. If you use wireless charging, you're going to be putting it down on that. So you're going to be setting the phone down pretty much anywhere. Unless you set it down on the face, still not a good idea either, unless you have a case. So that's why I went with the Neo Hybrid Spigen case. Because it is at least in my opinion, one of the thinner cases you can get with full corner protection and screen protection with a raised ring around the screen itself. Alright, so it's a two-piece case, as I mentioned before. I think I did. Anyway, squeeze on the metal ring, or not the metal ring, I'm sorry, it's plastic. The ring actually fits on pretty well and snug, which is a good thing. You don't really want this to be loose. And that is it. Make sure the edges are they're all in line. But yeah, looks like it's fully seated and it looks pretty slick. A little bit like an iPhone, ironically, but at least your camera is protected and your screen is protected, and that should be pretty good. Alright, so this is the Nexus 5 with the Neo Hybrid case from Spigen. Very slick case and a very slick phone. It's very fast, performs very well. See it scrolling, very smooth, very smooth. Alright. This is Ryan. If you have any questions, please post them up on the page, and like, comment, and subscribe if you wish. Thanks. Bye.